Hello there all you absolutely magnificent people, and welcome back to another episode of An Ecologist Plays, where we talk about nature while playing games. My name is Will and we are back in Monster Hunter World, and today we are going to go for the horned tyrant below the sands. The Diablos is coming up. But before we do that, I have gotten new equipment. I am now decked out mostly in Legiana gear. Of course, I've got my Everfrost blade here, which gives me a bit of ice damage there. I've got the Frost Charm over there to also increase the frost damage I do, but then that is also further increased by the Legiana Coil, and that along with the Frost Charm gives plus 60 ice attack, which is wonderful. My Gala Suit Slacks along with my helm will give me Divine Blessing, which reduces damage taken by 30%. I've got stun resistance due to the Tsitsi Van Braces, which is also, I think, useful. And with the Superman Dive, I've got a little bit longer invulnerability window, which is going to be very, very useful. And of course, with Legiana Blessing here, we have increased chance for good quest rewards, which is a nice extra little thing there. Alright, so I think I'm about as ready as I can be. So let us go and try to face Diablos down. There we go, the horned tyrant below the sand. The first Wyverian's not going to spill the beans about Zorah Magdaros until we stand on top of the food chain. That means we've got to hunt as a Diablos. Does that mean we have to eat it too? Basically the same description as for Rathian, where we also asked, does that mean we have to eat it too? Now, interesting, Diablos, even though it is probably one of the top animals in the Wildspire Wastes, it's not a top predator. In fact, it is a herbivore, but we will be talking about that in a moment. And here we go. Right, now of course we are back in the Wildspire Waste here. And we've got our Apsaros over here, just kind of minding their own business, chilling around. The reason I started down here was so that I could actually hunt some of them, but I realized I do still have some well-done steak on me, so I don't have to hunt them. I can just, run through the Wildspire Waste a bit. I'm pretty sure if we run along here, we should be passing the Kestodon over there, and then we should be heading into potential Diablos area. Oh, there's a little moss swine as well. Also a whole bunch of Baroth tracks over here as well, so they also are in the area. And yeah, I know I have seen the Diablos in this general area, so we've got to be careful. And there we go, indeed, Diablos footprints. Oh yes, exactly kind of where I expected them. Even some old scratch marks over here as well. I wonder whether those scratch marks were made with its horn. I think it is. So those are two scratch marks on the ground, and while Diablos, they do have two big horns on them. And the reason I would expect some signs of them around here is because of the cacti. Because Diablos is in fact a herbivore. And it really is refreshing to see a dangerous herbivore. Because on Earth we often associate, lions and stuff like that with being dangerous, the top predators. But a buffalo can be just as dangerous, if not even more. And a charging elephant, well, that's something you really don't want to mess with. So a herbivore like the Diablos here is actually a great thing for me to see such a deadly creature actually being a herbivore. And when we look at it, there are some characteristics there that, yes, it does look like a herbivore, but there are also some things that would have made me think that maybe this is in fact a carnivore. But it is definitely a herbivore. It's not really on top of the food chain, it's just that very few things will be able to eat it. But these cacti over here would be an incredible source of food for the Diablos, because they are able to eat it. Remember, I did mention previously that you shouldn't be eating cacti, it will make you sick. Well, the Diablos is obviously adapted to actually take in cactus without vomiting and suffering all the horrible consequences of eating the cacti here. Usually what we would be going for would be the cactus fruits here, the prickly pear fruits in particular, very, very nice. Not that I'm a big fan, they are way too spiny, but I do know a lot of people love eating prickly pear fruit. But as mentioned before, these leaves, not really leaves, they are in fact the flattened stems of the cactus, of the prickly pear, but that is in fact what the Diablos will be eating. And the reason they appear to be so aggressive is likely because, well, look around, there's not a super abundance of food, is there? So they have to be aggressive to keep everything else at bay, so they can eat their cactus in peace. And as I say that, I'm just, taking the cactus here, taking some of the Diablos resources away. Hello, Kestodon, don't mind us. We are just coming past here, looking for signs of the Diablos. Now, I have found the Diablos over here before, so I'm, checking to see whether perhaps it is in fact here again. I don't see any signs of it at the moment. There are some Kestodon over there, and that is about it at the moment. Ah, there we go, old footprints. Perfect. And again, some old scratches seem to be marking their territory with the horn scrapes. A lot of antelope will also do that. You'll very often find them scraping, like deer as well will also do that. You'll find them scraping their horns against the bushes and trees and so in the area. Oh, look at this. Okay, cool. There's a Noyos up there. I see you, Noyos. Vulturine. Very, very vulture-like. What are you seeing? Oh, there's a Baroth. Okay, not what we're after. Oh, love these guys. Okay. Not sure whether they'd be so skittish around them. Oh, no, they would be. There we go, Baroth. Breaking the Wildspire. Oh, and the Noyos. Screeching sounds as an alarm call. Oh, wow. That's a lot of screeching. Now, as far as I know, Diablos has very sensitive ears, so I don't think they're going to be very happy. No, in fact, they... that one is not very happy at all. And look at those magnificent horns. Oh my goodness gracious me. And that clubbed and spiked tail. Oh, that's a beautiful creature. Oh ho ho, that is beautiful. And immensely strong. Alright, and now of course, we are down in the area, and I think, yeah, this is where we were just a moment ago, and I think this is where the Diablos also is now. Oh ho ho, man. Okay. There lies the Baroth. Now, oh, there's the Diablos. Die, of course, referring to two, and I believe the Blos would refer to the horns most likely, so Diablos, two horns. And it is called that because, well, it looks kind of very devil-like, so like Lucifer. So there we go. Oh, look at those teeth. There we go. Okay, so we've got to play it safe here. We have got to play it safe here. They are extremely dangerous. Very big. Look at those tails. Of course, the club can be used as a defense and attack. And they will be scraping around with their horns as well. Okay, great attacks to see. Hello, Diablos. They do have wings, but this creature is way too bulky to actually fly. I think they can probably use their wings to flap up and down a bit, but they will not be able to fly long distances. Instead, they dig into the soil, and that is how they then, you know, pulverize us. Well, because we are taking our sweet ass time to actually do the swing bit. Okay, we're in danger. Of course, soon it will probably dig into the sand and come charging at us. But before it can do that, let's quickly get a few hits in, or try to. Oh no, okay, it didn't work. Now his belly is quite sensitive, so that is why we're targeting that. And are you gonna dig now? No, okay. I should actually still have given him a few hits. Oh, there we go, digging. Okay, so now we start running. And when it gets close, we try to Superman dive. And there we go, okay. So the attacks, the digs don't seem to be too difficult to actually miss, and I'm probably going to get hit by him now. Yeah. No, actually not. We're just going to try to get him on the belly as much as we can. Miss. Try to get him to charge at us so that he can get into this trap over here. Okay, he is digging. That means we need to start running. And jump. Haha. I love the Superman dive. Oh, he did destroy the trap by digging under it. Oh no. Okay, he kind of seems tired. And then he charges straight at me as I was trying. Oh, he's digging, okay. Run, little one, run. Oh, he's gone. Okay. And I am winded. Okay, it hasn't gone quite according to plan. Now we can of course use screamer pods as well to force him out of the sand instead of trying to, you know, dodge or jump at the right time. We can do that, and we can also try to shoot the Noyos when the Diablos is underground, so that will force him to the surface, because as mentioned, very sensitive to the high-pitched sounds, very sensitive to sounds overall. Okay, now Diablos is right over there. If I can just get above him. I'll be able to get on his back. Okay, he has dug underground. Not sure where he's heading. Oh, right underneath where he was. Okay. And finally, he has been caught in a trap. So that means we can charge our shield a bit and do a bit of extra damage to him, which is marvelous. Okay, he's digging, and we are stunned. Oh no. Yeah, that was horrible. That was really horrible. This may be the end, guys. Yeah, this is indeed the end. I was trying to roll, couldn't work. Okay. Yeah, I'm not surprised it went like that. Not surprised at all. And there it is still. Hello there, Diablos. Oh, he's digging. Okay. Get running, Will, get running, and... dodge. Oh, I broke a horn. Interesting. Nice. Okay, so now it's a monoblos. Actually, though, there is a species known as the monoblos, and this is not it. Okay, yeah, of course, he is enraged. I was just thinking, yes, this guy is very, very angry. Which means he is a little bit more unpredictable. And very, very aggressive. But let's give him a nice whack to the head. Not sure what we broke, but we did break something. Oh, he's digging. Okay. Get ready to run, and... jump. Oh. Not sure. Oh, he's running away. Okay. That's why. Oh, my word. Okay. That went better. That went much better. If we can see him from a distance, there are some things I do want to talk about Diablos. There we go. What an absolute beauty. Very, very hard skinned. There really is almost nothing, I think, that can really stand a chance against Diablos. Maybe some of the Elder Dragons, but that's about it. Now, that club that we can't really see at the moment, that club there, very, very ankylosaur-like. So, of course, some of the ankylosaur dinosaurs, they had those clubs on the ends of their tails. Not all of them. A lot of them didn't actually have those. But Ankylosaurus itself did have it. And some of the other species had kind of club-like structures at the end. Now, if that club is like Ankylosaurus' club, the last tail vertebrae would actually be fused and provide a very rigid structure with a club at the end of it. And that, of course, is a very, very nice defense mechanism. A very nice defense to use against something that is trying to attack you from behind. Now, of course, dangerous at the back, dangerous at the front end as well, because look at that frill. That frill is very similar to Triceratops and other ceratopsian dinosaurs. And that frill there is most likely a defense mechanism to keep the neck safe. So most likely attack from above, so things like Rathian and other flying creatures, so that they don't easily get a hold of the neck, because the neck is vulnerable. Snap the neck and the creature dies. Also, of course, the underside is very, very vulnerable, but this is a very big and aggressive creature, almost a dinosaur creature, so they are able to defend themselves most likely from things that are on ground level. There is something coming in from above that they need to worry about. I'm very keen to see what happens if we actually shoot the Noyos and it screeches. Okay, it doesn't actually stun the Diablos. Okay, I was wondering whether it would stun the Diablos if it is above ground, but not. It will force it to ground, though. It will force it to the surface, however, if you do get the Noyos to screech while it is, in fact, underground. And as mentioned, the two wings there, not very useful. Not useful for flying, at least. Maybe it uses it in territorial fights. Maybe it uses it as a threat display to just try and appear larger. Because a lot of creatures, when they're fighting, they do try to appear larger than their opponent, to try and intimidate them to leave and, give up the fight. But Diablos, why is it so aggressive? Because, as mentioned earlier, its food is in short supply. It needs to defend its food very aggressively, because, well, there isn't a lot of food in the Wildspire Wastes. Now, as we saw there, it is capable of digging, and it digs quite effectively, and most likely uses its wings there, its hands on the wings there, as well as its feet there, to dig. Hello there, Diablos. You're not going to attack me? Interesting. I would have expected an attack from you. Kind of marking its territory, just kind of sauntering about. Oh, this is really a lovely, lovely creature. It's a pity we've got to kill it. Which is why we're going to try to not kill it. We are, of course, as always, going to try to catch it. And there we go. It charged straight into our lovely trap that was set for it. Ah, wonderful. And let's get a nice attack on the back. Or the tail at least. Great stuff. It is raging. So let's try to get out of the way. Okay, and digging. Run, Forest, run, and jump. Yes. I must say, that extra window of invulnerability is such a useful thing. And he's digging. And jump. Digging, and jump. And he's digging again. I'm really enjoying the Superman dives. And now, of course, he is kind of winded after all that. Oh, he's running away. Okay. Oh, where to are you running? Oh, you're probably running down there. Yes, you are. Okay. Okay, so indeed he is now below us. You know what? We're just gonna pop in and say hello. Now we could try to get him to actually charge into those wildspires that they just destroyed, but oh well. You could also just, use the flash flies to their advantage. And not get a lot done with that advantage. And digging time? Of course it is. There we go. And he's digging again. And digging again. He loves digging. He's like a little dwarf. And he's digging again. Oh, he's wounded. That is really marvelous. That means we should be able to actually catch him. Wait, what? No. Yeah, indeed. There he is. There is Diablos. Now, this is most likely a male, but could also be a non-breeding female. Because the females, well, during the breeding season, they go black in color. They are what we call the black Diablos. And this one here was a male, or is a male. So let's get this ready, shall we? And 2 trank bombs, there we go. Perfect. Let us now relocate this one elsewhere.
Wyvern says he wants to talk to the conqueror of the ecosystem. That's you.
I don't want to be a conqueror of the ecosystem. I want to be in touch with nature. There's a difference. I want to be a custodian. That's the term I'm looking for. Okay. That went better than expected. Only one feint. That was my own stupidity there. Getting a nice bunch of resources here as well. Ah, here we are, the first wyvern again. You have ascended to the apex and proved yourself. Now you may know the secret of the dragon that carries a mountain of fire on its back. The dragon hovers on the brink of death, but the light of life is calling to it, drawing it away from its proper grave. It has wandered into the Everstream and lost its way. Now, it stands poised to perish there, brimming with fiery, life-bringing energy. The Everstream connects every corner of this land like the veins of a beating heart. Should the dragon succumb to death there, its glut of energy will hurtle through those veins, setting them afire and searing the land to ash and scorched earth. That is the dragon's secret. That shall be this land's fate. Nature's course cannot be swayed. Okay. Well, that's kind of doom and gloom.
Everyone, please, quiet down. Let's review our current situation.
Yeah, let's do.
Thanks to the 5th Fleet's diligent efforts, we've learned a number of things.
1.
That Zorah Magdaros is heading for the Everstream.
Indeed.
2. That upon its death, it'll release the bioenergy it has stored.
And that is a lot of bioenergy that it has stored.
And 3. That the Everstream is connected to every corner of the new world.
Indeed.
So, if Zorah dies inside the Everstream, its bioenergy will blast us all to hell.
That's a good and succinct way of putting it.
And the whole reason we're here is to study the beast's role in the ecosystem.
Exactly. We want to understand how things work.
Not erase it from the ecosystem altogether.
What if we tried to lure it away from the Everstream somehow?
Force it into a different area.
So if we can lure Zorah Magdaros out onto the open water...
We can mitigate the blast,
Yes, that sounds good.
and the bioenergy released would start a whole new ecosystem in the ocean. Life would go on.
That sounds like a win-win situation. Okay.
Hunters, it's time. Complete your preparations with speed, and make your way to the Everstream. I'll
Marvelous.
explain the details on site. We can do this. We must do this.
Yes, there is no
May
choice.
the Sapphire Star light our way.
Okay, cool. And there we go. There is the Diablos we have caught, and it is going to be translocated elsewhere. I really love the Diablos design, I must say. Interesting. So, we did talk about the two big horns on the front there. Those horns are, of course, extremely useful for fighting either with other individuals of the same species, so intraspecific interactions there, or with individuals of other species. For example, the Baroth that it fought with at the start of that cutscene. But it also has smaller tusks, and I wonder whether those tusks aren't perhaps also kind of multifunctional. Maybe it's used again in the fights with other individuals, but maybe it also is used to dig up parts of plants. Tubers, for example, could be dug up by those tusks. If you look at Lystrosaurus, a Dicynodont from many years ago, the Permian period, they had two little tusks, not quite facing that way, but facing down, and they most likely used that to dig around for tubers in the ground. So maybe the Diablos here is also using it in times of cactus scarcity to dig up some tubers and feed on that. There are definitely some tubers that they would be able to eat. In desert areas, a lot of plants do store water and nutrients in underground storage organs, in tubers in essence, so there would be some of that in the desert as well. Maybe not a lot of tubers, but in desert areas the tubers tend to be few and far between, but they tend to also be very large. So if the Diablos were to find a tuber, it would most likely be worthy of it digging it up and eating it. And then interesting, the other normal teeth it has there, very pointy, but not as pointy as you would expect from a carnivore. Also, all the teeth are in front, don't see any teeth in the back there of the mouth, so that indicates that those teeth there are meant to not tear flesh off carcasses, but it is there to tear pieces of plants off the main plant. So it definitely is a herbivorous creature, and of course very scaly, very well armored, yet its belly is vulnerable to attack. I mean, it generally wouldn't have anything to fear from a smaller creature, but then of course we are not any normal small creature. We are a hunter that set out to go and take out the Diablos. And I'm so glad we actually managed to catch it rather than kill it. I am really trying not to kill any of the creatures. Catching and releasing them would be the way this ecologist wants to handle stuff. Oh, what a marvelous creature. I look forward to seeing the Black Diablos later on in the story. I believe we are going to encounter it later on. And when we do that, then of course we'll also talk about mating rituals and, why do they turn black and those types of things as well. But for now, a little bit of an intro to Diablos. Oh, magnificent horned beast from the Wildspire Wastes. Alright, but that is where we are going to end today's episode, everybody. So thank you very much for joining me on our little adventure. Hope you enjoyed it. I had a hell of a time. Hope you have a wonderful week further. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a nice thumbs up, share with your friends, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe. It really helps the channel to grow, and it's always great to welcome more people to the Ecology squad. And if you want to hang out a little bit more, there's also a Discord channel, and there's a link to that in the channel description. And until next time, everybody, stay tuned. I'll see you all soon. Cheers!